He's got a badge and he's got a sword. He'll break your heart, then he'll break a board. So when an evil ninja comes for you, remember reading is the real ninjutsu. Karate Tolstoy! Kia!
And that's when I woke up.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I know. Good thing we were recording all of that.
Yeah, you guys lucked out that you got to hear that story.
It was a good one. It was a winner. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of, what is this? Karate Tolstoy.
Karate Tolstoy.
Karate Tolstoy, where we tell a wonderful tale
of martial arts shenanigans and skullduggery.
and intrigue.
And definitely a lot of intrigue.
Intrigue and probably some misogyny coming up.
Oh, guaranteed. Absolutely.
Because Stacy.
Stacy's in the mix now.
I hear her mom's got it going on, but I didn't know that she had it as well. So,
oddly enough, Stacy's mom is the drug kingpin in this story.
Yep.
So that's the it that she has going on is illicit substance profits.
Yes, that's it. I'm Ed.
I'm Brett. We're working our way through the greatest book ever written, The Martial Arts Murders by Andy Schoep. You can get it in physical form only on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. And we have swords now.
We do have swords in the studio.
Swords are in the studio.
Some official samurai swords.
Some very blunted katana blades.
Yeah, they're decorative as all get out. There's the hilt of one of them is a dragon of sorts. I'm thinking.
I think there's like a
snakes.
There's
like snakes on a plane?
Siamese dragons or something as the hilt of the other one. These were clearly Value Village purchases.
I don't think they were Value Village, but they might have been pawn shop purchases.
Yeah.
That someone bought.
Yeah, like they're very unsharpened.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're more decorative than they are practical.
There was a scene in an earlier chapter where, obviously, as we all know, the martial arts murderer kills people with ninja weapons.
Yep.
Kind of like a version of Seven, but like Chuck Norris's version of Seven, where everyone dies with like a different ninja weapon.
Yeah, so we should recap do we want to recap the murders?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So murder one was with a stick.
A bow staff. Yeah, they
yeah.
pinataed like multiple chests on this one person.
Looking for some double bubble. Didn't find any.
Second one was the katana murder. And the point being, the katana murder, they said it was pretend seppuku where you disembowel yourself and cut your own head off.
Right.
But the ninja forgot the disemboweling part, so it was just basically your run-of-the-mill beheading, but with a katana sword. So like these swords could not disembowel anybody, much less behead them. So I mean, we're safe from murder ninjas. Anyway, if we both get killed by ninjas in here, they're going to have to find a separate martial arts weapon to get whichever one of us survives.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So you can't do 2 katana murders. That would just be unseemly.
Yeah, right? I mean, you got to mix it up every now and then.
So third murder was throwing stars, which apparently you can't kill someone with throwing stars unless you have a fucking lot of them.
I was like 20 or 25.
Yeah.
In both of his eyes and each of his eyes and mouth.
Yeah.
And chest.
Yeah.
Each of his chests.
All of his chests.
And
then the fourth one, which was actually the first chapter, was someone just basically got kneecapped with nunchucks and then...
Nunchaku?
Oh, shit, I said it.
You did it, dude. Uh-oh.
If there was a drinking game involved, I would have to drink now.
You would.
But he got nunchaku'd to fucking death. So
Detective Michael Darts and Detective Mark Anderson are hot on the
9/11 survivor. Mark Anderson.
9/11 survivor? Yeah, that guy. They're hot on the trail of this.
So they're so hot on the trail that their first lead was a strip mall karate studio.
Yep.
Just a random one somewhere in L.A.
Not run by Ralph Macchio.
No, not a Cobra Kai affiliated. I don't even think it was in Reseda at all.
No, I don't think it was.
And they just went up to their first karate sensei they could find, and
he just happened to be suspect.
Sensei Harry Styles.
Yep, that's right.
And
Sensei Styles.
He said, "You're in a one direction to pain." And then Harry Styles got really upset and just screamed about how he was a Navy SEAL or some shit.
He was a patriot.
Yeah, he was a true patriot.
Yeah, you don't because you had to bow to the American flag every time you saw one.
Because patriots have never murdered anybody.
Not at all.
Never in the history of this whole country.
Nope, not once.
So that was his get out of jail free card, was just screaming, "I'm a patriot," which I guess works in this country. So I mean, honestly, it's not a bad strategy.
It's true. It's true.
It's just like, oh, you fucking murdered somebody with all of the Ninja Turtle weapons, and all of a sudden you like recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and you're off scot free.
There it is. Yeah, hey, I'm an American. I'm a patriot.
So he defeated Harry Styles in a fucking karate duel.
Yep.
And now he's probably on his way to fucking Stacy, who was Sensei Ryan Styles' disciple.
Yep. Number one student.
And so that's about where we are at this point. What chapter are we on?
We are on chapter 5, which is titled Detective Michael Darts.
Wow, self-titled.
And just for the record, I'd like to point out that the chapter itself is 2 pages.
Oh, wow.
Essentially.
So this might be a short episode.
2 pages. Well, we'll go to chapter 6 as well.
Yeah, we do 2 chapters an episode, but wow, this might be a quickie.
We'll see. Hopefully,
so to speak.
Not to Stacy's liking.
Well, he said he was never going to leave her at the end. So, like, clearly he has, like, erotic stamina.
Right. That's right. Yeah, because we did read, in case you didn't, we read the last couple of pages.
Yeah. Sexually, he plays 701, not 301, because darts.
Right. All right, chapter 5, Detective Michael Darts. Mike began... Okay, I'm already hating.
It's already flustered.
Yeah, I'm already flustered grammatically. Mike began, my mom started me in the martial arts when I was 4 years old. I was a black belt by the time I was 10. Good for you. I was one cocky kid in junior high and high school. Okay. I stayed with the martial arts until I graduated from the academy, but instead of looking for a job right out of the academy, I took a few years off. I earned my 4th degree black belt and moved temporarily to study with Stephen H. Keyes. Who is that? Mark asked without a question mark, yet again. He's one of the few remaining true ninja senseis in the United States, Mike answered. I didn't want to become a ninja or anything. I mean...
Because when I think of true ninja senseis, I think of, what's his name? Steve Keyes?
Yep, Stephen H. Keyes.
Hey, I'm Sensei Steve. There's a lot of Sensei Steves.
It's all, yeah.
There's
Sensei Styles, Sensei Steve.
Yeah. Well, Sensei Styles' middle name is Steve.
That's right. It was.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a correlation between ninjas and Steves.
I think Mr. Shep probably has a lot of authority figures in his life named Steve. I mean, he lives in Minnesota, so it's honestly fairly likely.
Yeah. He's one of the few remaining... Okay, that's right. He did that. I didn't want to become a ninja or anything. I just wanted to refine my martial arts skills. Master Keyes... It's like how you get into anywhere.
Master Keyes.
Master Keyes
and his wife, Master Locke.
Yep. Master Keyes was a little bit reluctant to take me on as a student because he is more focused on training students in the art of ninjutsu as opposed to sharpening someone else's skills.
What does that even mean?
Okay. Thank you.
What? So he's more interested in training other people
in the art of ninjutsu,
in being ninjas, than in
as opposed to sharpening someone else's skills. Okay.
What skills and what?
I'm guessing it's also ninja stuff.
I'd rather teach you how to be a ninja than teach you how to be skillful.
Right. Okay.
Vaguely skillful in life. Maybe he's like a guidance counselor.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I could teach you your coping mechanisms. I could teach you to count to 10. Or how do you feel about swinging some chucks around?
Well, it's the old saying, teach a man to fish and he can throw some ninja stars, but show a man to whatever the thing is. Whatever.
Yeah, those.
I was on my way.
You were on your way.
I was on my way.
Maybe Sensei Keyes can sharpen your skills.
But he's opposed to sharpening someone else's skills, so what are you going to do?
Let me be blunt, he said.
Yeah. He also did not like the fact that I learned almost everything from another instructor. I already knew 7 different weapons, but he really sharpened my techniques.
He's a virgin chaser.
Okay. Mark asked, why did you get into the martial arts in the first place? I know your mom got you started when you were 4, but what made you stick with it and take it so far?
What made his mom put him in there? She's just like, I gotta go do a thing with a businessman over at the strip mall bar. I'm gonna drop you off at the arcade.
So she's getting her nails done.
Yeah. And if you find your way into the karate studio, you can hang out there.
Honey, I'll be in Suite 107 in Happy Nails.
Yeah.
It's just 3 things down. If you go past the subway, it's between the subway and the, yeah.
If I don't get these nails done, you don't get a new stepdad.
But what made you stick with it and take it so far? Mike responded, martial arts movies mostly. I saw a lot of martial arts movies when I was young. Wow.
Martial arts movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark said, well, that explains quite a bit. You really kicked that guy's ass back there. I'm impressed.
The cinematography on that roundhouse was amazing.
Don't be, Mike said. I could tell that guy was all talk. He also has no honor or respect for the martial arts.
Just the flag.
Just the flag, thank you. I was going to say that. How about family? Mark changed the subject. Again, no question mark.
Yeah.
Do your mom and dad live here in L.A.? There's a question mark. I mean, explain it. Explain it, Andy Shep.
He finally dropped the question mark.
Mike replied, my mom does. My dad is dead.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. Mark sounded ashamed.
Told you, stepdad.
Wait, he sounded ashamed. Oh, shit? How do you...
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. How are you ashamed by that? I'm so sorry, man. Don't be, was Mike's reply. He died when I was 7, so I barely knew or remember him.
He died during a board-breaking exercise gone wrong.
My mom raised me. I was an only child. Mark said, oh, you must be spoiled then. Hey. Mike laughed. All right, smartass. I hate that. Every time I tell someone I'm an only child, the first thing people say is, you must be spoiled, huh? I resent that.
And let me write you a strongly worded 5-paragraph email to prove why I'm not spoiled and the center of attention.
Just trying to lighten the mood, Mark grinned, then changed the subject again back to the case. So, where do we go from here? Well, Mike began, I'm going to make notes on our little visit today, then figure out which school to check out next. I mean, do we not already know that one of the murderers the murder is in from that very first dojo?
I don't know if they ever really...
sorted
that. It just seemed like they were like flip a coin or throw a dart at a phone book open to the yellow pages of karate dojos.
Right.
Is it under K for karate or D for dojos?
Or S for styles.
It's S for... They just threw it at the white pages and then went to like everyone's house like, are you into karate? Are you a murderer? Are you a martial arts murderer?
Mark looked thoughtful and said, you didn't take that Stacy's number, did you?
That Stacy.
Mike grinned, of course I did. Did you see how hot she was and the way she was looking at me? Mark shook his head. This is a murder investigation and her sensei is a potential suspect. You could get your ass fired for that or at least suspended.
And I'm about to murder her with a bow staff if you get what I'm fucking swinging.
She's not a suspect herself, Mike began. And by the way, I'm not much for playing by the rules.
I suspect her of being hot as shit.
I'm not much for playing by the rules. You're going to get yourself in trouble, Mark replied.
You're a loose cannon, Darts.
Throwing from the hip.
Give me a badge and your throwing stars.
You're going to get yourself in trouble, Mark replied. Nobody's going to find out, though, Mike said. I can keep it quiet if you can.
Yeah.
Shit like that always comes back to bite you in the ass, Mark replied.
If we're lucky.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was hoping for. I'll keep it quiet if you get involved with her, but don't say I didn't warn you. Mike parked his car in the LAPD parking ramp. What? Why didn't he pull it all the way into the lot?
I don't know.
Okay. He and Mark went up to their desks and spent the rest of the day making notes and filing reports on their visit with Sensei Steven Stiles. I just added the Steven.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Mark got up from his desk and said to Mike, parenthetical, whose desk was across from his, end parentheses, I'm heading home. You want to grab a beer? Mike said, no, I think I'm going to go home, relax, and watch some TV. I'll take a rain check, though. Mark said, you got it. See you tomorrow.
See, you can tell he's a real ninja. Because he likes TV like the rest of us.
Exactly. Well, how is he going to learn if he doesn't watch more martial arts movies? Later, Mike said as he looked up and gave a half-hearted mock salute. Okay. After he was sure Mark was gone, Mike walked to Lieutenant Vickers' office, saw that he was still there, and knocked on the door. End of chapter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it was
very
was like literally a page.
That was like ninja sudden. That was like as sudden as a martial arts murder.
I think our commentary actually made it twice as long.
Yeah.
Chapter 6, Questions and Concerns.
Oh, man, this is fucking where internal affairs gets involved.
What's great, though, is that with all the questions, there's not going to be a single question mark. Which is my concern.
Yeah,
that's my concern.
Okay,
that's the questions and concerns. That's what this chapter should be explaining.
We have to keep a tally on it.
Yeah, right. Oh, well, we're already at like 25 or yeah. Lieutenant Vickers was a burly man, a little heavy set, 5'10", 47 years old, with balding brown hair. Can't have both. He always had a stone-faced, serious look and a gruff tone of voice. "Oh, come in, Detective Darts," Vickers said as he looked up and saw Mike knocking on.
Is he Harvey Fierstein?
"Oh, look, what can I do for you, Detective? You're a loose cannon, and I'm about to fire you all over my tits."
"What can I do for you, Detective?" I'll just read. Vickers asked in his usual business-like tone. Mike sat down in a chair across from Vickers and said, "I was talking to Detective Anderson today. I don't mean to sound cruel and heartless, but is he stable?" "Yeah, he lives with horses."
Nay.
You're a dick. Vickers replied, "He was given a clean bill of health by the NYPD's psych evaluator and ours." Mike
but to be honest, they aren't paying for his lung damage.
Right. Yeah. Mike replied, "I know, but he told me the whole story today about 9/11. His best friend and partner..."
I didn't even know what that was until today.
his best friend and partner...
The whole story about 9/11.
I can't believe that actually happened.
And then Vickers leans in. "It didn't.
It didn't happen. It was a ruse. It's the moon landing all over again." Michael.
From Independence Day.
Oh, God.
"Michael, where you going, Michael?"
All right. I know, but he told me the whole story today about 9/11. His best friend and partner, his now ex-wife, and you should have seen the look in his eyes. He wasn't about to bawl or anything like that, but his eyes were just empty pits one minute and dreary the next.
They were like twin towers of tears.
Vickers broke in. What? Vickers broke in.
"What are you getting at, Mike?"
After a slight pause and a sigh.
Yeah, like a weapon.
He said, "With this case being so demanding and gruesome, I was just wondering if he can handle it this soon. I know 9/11 was 6 years ago, this was being written.
Yeah.
I know 9/11 was 6 years ago, but it seems like Mark is just getting over things. And if we get into a situation that means life or death, I wonder if he can handle it, or if he'll snap and freeze up at a crucial moment. And maybe jump out of a window."
Wow.
No, we added that.
There we go.
Yep. Vickers nodded. Vickers nodded.
"I'll talk to the man who did our psych eval and get back to you ASAP."
I'm not doing that voice anymore. "In the meantime, just work with the guy. He seems solid to me. If something happens that throws up a red flag, let me know right away. I don't need any kind of detectives being thrown in harm's way or getting killed." "Yes, sir," Mike replied. Vickers changed the conversation as Mike was getting up to leave. They changed conversations a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll notice that, like, he broke in.
Yeah.
Like, it sounded like he was, like, burglarizing his own office.
Yeah. This is great. Vickers changed the conversation as Mike was getting up to leave. "Any new leads in the case?" Literally, they were just talking about the case. Didn't change the subject. Didn't change the conversation. Okay. Mike said, "I just finished up the report. Mark and I ran into a crazy sensei today who was a real hothead, and he was adamantly opposed to us interviewing any of his students."
"Yes, but was he a patriot?"
He did.
Well, then he's immune."
Yes, that's right. "All of the other senseis and instructors I interviewed were more than happy to help and gave me full access and all the time I needed with his or her students. This guy just erupted like a geyser. It was unreal. He was in Desert Storm doing covert operations into Iraq as a Navy SEAL. I actually mixed it up with him a bit."
Wait, who did?
Darts? Yeah, Darts mixed it up with him a bit. He mixed it up with the sensei.
It
Sensei
sounded
Styles.
like you were saying that, like, they served together and he just remembered.
Right? Yeah, I know. Why did he give that piece of information?
Yeah.
It's cool, though. Vickers said, "You have a pretty good bruise developing there," pointing to the side of Mike's face where Sensei Styles caught him. "It'll be fine. I heal quickly," Mike replied. Vickers added, "You should have arrested that son of a bitch for assaulting a police officer." "Yeah, I know," Mike began, "but I'm going to give him a couple of days to cool down and then take Mark along."
Dude, that's horse shit. It was a fucking karate duel. You don't get fucking arrested for karate. It wasn't like he just, like, sucker punched him. Like, they fucking went on the mat, and when you're on the mat, the laws of human society that birthed you no longer apply.
What happens on the mat?
You're in a higher law. You're in the fucking court of kung fu.
The Court of Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I like that one. That might be the title. But I'm going to give him a couple days to cool down and then take Mark along to pay him another visit and see if I can get more out of him. If I would have arrested him, I think he would have frozen up and not given us anything. Besides, I kind of instigated the whole thing. It's way too early to tell, but the man definitely has the temper and skills for something like this. God damn it, Mike. Vickers exploded.
Wow.
I told you
temper.
I told you to knock that cocky movie cop crap out. Cocky movie cop.
You're a cop. You're a cocky book cop.
Cocky movie cop crap.
Yeah.
Cocky movie cop crap. Nice.
Cocky movie cop crap.
The fact that I've said it this many times without messing it up, I'm proud.
I think that might be the title.
Yeah, cocky movie fight cop crap. Cocky movie cop crap.
Cocky movie cop crap.
Yep, there it is. Okay.
That is hard.
That's tough, dude. You can't go around instigating fights with potential suspects, no matter how much of a prick they are. When you go back there, take 2 officers along with Anderson and make sure things don't get out of hand again. Understood? Mike nodded and said, "Yes, sir. I apologize, and I'll try not to let it happen again." "Make sure of that," Vickers ordered. Ordered? "Go home and get some rest and put an ice pack on that."
Put on some TV.
Dismissed. Mike stood up and left the office.
Kick your feet up. Those dogs are barking.
Mike's apartment was, now it's a new thing. Same chapter, new concept, new ideas. Mike's apartment was better than most LAPD detectives for their salary. Okay. It had a spacious living room area with a love seat, sofa, coffee table, 2 end tables, and a 36-inch TV, and a large entertainment center with DVD, VCR, and 5.1 DTS surround sound. 2 home video game systems, a fairly decent kitchen with middle-of-the-line appliances. Nice. A large bedroom with a queen-size bed. Not that big of a bedroom then, if it's only a queen. And 2 desks. Okay.
I mean, middle-of-the-line appliances.
Yeah.
Because if you got top-of-the-line, people are going to think bribes.
Right? Yeah. You get the middle of the line so they don't suspect you.
Yeah.
2 desks. 1 desk had several papers on it and was clearly for homework. Okay. Isn't he an adult?
It's probably like cocky movie cop karate homework.
Cocky movie cop crap homework?
Cocky movie cop crap homework.
Was clearly for homework. The other desk had a laptop computer and a printer/scanner/copier. It's middle of the line, my ass.
Yeah.
That kind of fanciness. 3-in-1.
Yeah.
It's like Head and Shoulders.
Like only 6 years after 9/11. Like that's pretty state of the art.
It is. Aside from wall art, Mike had several martial arts weapons mounted on his walls.
Is wall art like fucking girls in bikinis?
Yeah.
Because he really skipped over wall art pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's either that or I'm guessing a Scarface poster and a Reservoir Dogs poster, like that kind of stuff.
But also probably a Barbie Twins.
No, he
poster.
definitely had some Bruce Lee shit.
Yeah.
He 100%.
Bruce Lee next to the Barbie Twins.
Yeah, the Barbie Twins. Yeah, that's the right timeline.
Yeah.
That's great. 10 swords on one of his living room walls, a display of nunchakus and tonfas on another living room wall. That's 2 walls. One of the tonfas was his M15 Decider police nightstick. Okay. He also had a few side displays around the apartment.
Just displays of people being exasperated with him.
Just a bunch of chaise lounges. Mike crashed on the couch, grabbed the remote, turned on the TV, and did some meaningless channel surfing. Meaningful channel searching is what I would prefer. Like meaningful.
Like he's looking up like karate movies so he can watch some more cocky movie cop crap.
Cocky movie cop crap. Yeah, we did it. Mike did that. He started emptying his pockets and ran across Stacy's phone number.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, none of this is like questions or concerns. I feel like this chapter's title.
Well, I think Vickers asked one. Yeah, he did. Any new leads in the case? He asked that. So there was a question. And he was concerned because of the fight and the bruising.
The cocky movie cop crap.
Yeah, the cocky movie cop crap. Yeah.
Okay, but like, where are the concerns in this television show?
We'll get to it.
All right.
He started emptying his pockets and ran across Stacy's phone number. He rubbed his chin with the 5 o'clock shadow.
Like, he had a separate 5 o'clock shadow that he rubbed on his chin.
He rubbed his chin with the 5 o'clock shadow and said, screw it.
Like, she's a woman, not an it.
Mike picked up his cordless phone and dialed the number. A sweet female voice answered. Hello. Mike said, Stacy? Her sweet voice came back, this is. Stacy, Mike Dart's here. I'm the detective from your karate school today. Stacy said, oh, hi, Mike. I didn't expect you to call so soon. Mike replied, if this is a bad time, I can call back, when Stacy cut him off by saying, no, this is fine. There isn't Jack on TV anyways.
Okay, to be fair, these are questions and concerns.
They are.
So, okay, it came around. You're
And,
right.
and you know, I can tell already with this just flammable conversation that they're having, that they have a lot in common, because they're both meaninglessly channel surfing right now.
They would rather be doing cocky movie cop
crap.
cocksucking.
Yep. Mike laughed and said, yeah, I just found out the same thing. That's why I decided to call, because I was bored and there wasn't thing on TV.
That's romantic.
Isn't it?
I'm bored. Where's the fucking skirt?
You know, after a pause, he added, I probably shouldn't even be calling you. I did meet you in the course of a murder investigation, so I shouldn't even be calling you, much less go out with you. Dude, what a move that is.
Yeah.
Just immediately like, oh, we're going to go out.
Just dangling the forbidden fruit.
That's funny. Stacy giggled and said, do you always play by the rules, detective? Just call me Mike, he replied. Stacy said, I know, but you sounded so serious I just had to call you detective. Oh, she's got a thing.
Yep.
So how about it? Do you always play by the rules? Obviously not. That's why I'm calling you, he said. What did you have in mind? Stacy asked. Dude, this is so steamy.
You want to watch some shitty TV with me?
Mike said, how about dinner and a quiet night in? I'm not much for extravagant first dates. So I'm also cheap.
I also want to take you away from a neutral location.
Yeah. She moaned. She moaned? Yeah. That sounds good, especially the quiet night in part. Dude, what a...
She saw him for like 15 minutes beating up her fucking sensei.
That's what she wants.
And
him
this
to,
is
she
where
wants him to
she's
beat.
at.
Yeah, she wants him to beat up her sensei. If
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. She's already at this point.
Do you have a restaurant in mind, and what day were you thinking? Mike asked. Again, no question mark. Yeah. See, questions and concerns, my ass. Sure do, she said. It's nice, quiet, It's nice, quiet, and it has candlelight. What? I was thinking maybe Saturday night. Mike could just imagine soft candlelight dancing over her face and hair. He then said, Saturday night should work. Where do you live so I can pick you up? What she said next shocked him. I live at 118 Vine Lane, just off Drake Avenue. Bum, bum, bum. Mike said, astonished, how do you afford a place there? I'm sorry, Stacy said. I should have told you that I'm independently wealthy.
Then why are you getting karate lessons in a strip mall?
Well, I mean, it's a nice strip mall.
Yeah.
Mike said, tell me more. They've got a lot of American flags there. Stacy said, let's wait for Saturday night, okay? It'll give us more to talk about. That works for me, Mike said. I'll pick you up at 6. How does that sound? Sounds good, Mike, she replied. Have a good night. You too, he answered. Bye. Bye, came her sweet voice, and then a click. Mike found something somewhat interesting on TV and contemplated Stacy for a while. He became kind of concerned for her safety. She lived just 5 blocks over from where the last murder occurred, and she was independently wealthy. He would have to be sure to get a thorough background from her on Saturday night.
Oh, he's
going to get thorough in her background.
Yeah.
Especially if she has what? He would have to be sure to get a thorough background from her on Saturday night, especially if she has any next of kin.
Have you ever been martial arts murdered before?
Yes. Tell me about your next of kin.
That sounds like something a murderer would say.
Yeah, right. All of the victims were wealthy and had no next of kin as their only connection. He just hoped she wouldn't become a target.
I'm thinking like he might be the murderer.
Michael Darts?
Yeah. He asks questions that a murderer...
He does ask very murdery questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, I'm going to stalk you and kill you later.
But also, since we're both watching TV together in separate rooms, it's hot.
Yeah. Dude, that was the steamiest of conversations right there. Can't wait for them. That was the end of chapter, by the way. So, you're right. Shorter episode on this one. That's cool, though.
This is pretty swift.
Next one will probably be a bit longer.
Yep.
And we can,
and the next one is going to be, I think, the date. And so the next one's going to be some wild shit is about to happen.
Nice. Should I put on my rubber pants?
Yeah. As long as they have American flags on them.
Yep.
Because we're going to be committing a lot of crimes next episode. But as long as we're patriots, it's all good.
That's all that matters, really.
Yep.
Yeah. God bless America.
God bless America. God bless cocky movie cop crap.
Cocky Movie Cop Crap.
All right. If you want Martial Arts Murders by Andy Shep, you can get it at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. And if you think you can write a better book, fucking do it. Bye.
Yeah!